We're giving 90-day notices to places like California, Scott. Right away, we're going to send out that notice. Who would bill the federal government as people poured into the state to send those people back because no country can afford to do it? No country can afford to take in millions of people, pay for their education, their health care, their hospitals. You just can't do it.
Get them out.
We all have a heart. You can't do it. But many of those people are murderers. They're people released from jails, prisons, mental institutions, insane asylums.
Yeah.
They're people that are drug dealers. They're addicts. Additionally, starting February 1st, we're not making any payments to sanctuary cities or states having sanctuary cities because they do everything possible to protect criminals at the expense of American citizens, and it breeds fraud and crime and all of the other problems that come. So we're not making any payment to anybody that supports sanctuary cities.
Boom. I love that. Let's see about this.
We've frozen all children's payments to those states that we're talking about, and we will now require proof of attendance in order to receive federal funding for child care or any of that. How about all these child care places in Minnesota where there is no children? They go there, they get paid millions and millions of dollars. The biggest operation in all of Minnesota had no children.
Crazy.
We pay millions of dollars. They're scammers. They're scammers. They always will be. And we're getting them out, and we're not going to pay them. We're not going to pay Minnesota. Right, Scott? We're not paying Minnesota any more money for that, any of that crap. It's a big scam.
No more.
It's a giant scam. Run by an incompetent, crooked governor.
Of course.
He's an incompetent, crooked guy. And also we're freezing any and all welfare payments going to illegal immigrants that will start effective immediately. So when illegals come into California, Gavin Newsom, they come into California and they send us bills for people coming in. We're not paying it. So we're working on that very strongly. Just don't pay it. As Nancy Reagan would say, just say no. You remember Nancy Reagan? Just say no to drugs. It's a little more difficult than that, I guess, right? But just say no. Additionally, from this moment forward, if you're on public assistance like almost all Somalis are, did you see where 94% of them are on public assistance? You can't wire money out of the country back to your bank account from where you came. But more importantly, we probably aren't even going to give them the money anymore, the money going to them, because of the tremendous abuse and probably illegality being perpetrated on our country. We're not going to give them the money. We're not giving them the money.
I love that.
I don't understand how sanctuary cities, honestly speaking, I got to educate myself in it. I don't understand how sanctuary cities are allowed in this country.
Me neither.
I really don't. I don't get it. If there's federal laws that mandate that you know what, you can't cross the border illegally, there shouldn't be sanctuary cities saying, yes, you can.
Exactly.
It just shouldn't be. I mean, one way or another, pick one. You either can or you can't. But it shouldn't be federal government says no, but you say yes, so you get to usurp the authority of the federal government, and we're still calling ourselves a nation of laws. Well, which laws?
Exactly.
It makes no sense. That's where I'm coming from, Andy.
I live in Los Angeles.
You got 30 seconds, Andy. Andy, you got 30 seconds. You got 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Never voted once or was given the offer to vote for or against sanctuary city or state. I think it's a bunch of baloney.
It is.
I don't blame you for feeling that way.
BS, dude.
Because the American people should have an opportunity to vote on it. You're absolutely right. I didn't even know that was the case, Andy, until you just told me. You understand? How you a sanctuary city just by declaring yourself to be a sanctuary city, but the citizens in the city didn't even vote on it? That doesn't seem to be the American way.
No. It's absolute stupidity.
Work with law enforcement to enforce the law. In May 2020, looting, acts of violence, and arson occurred on your watch in Minneapolis after you refused to bring in the National Guard. Governor, your agenda is clear. Free health care, free college and driver's licenses for illegals while handcuffing law enforcement when they're trying to protect our citizens and their communities.
I wish I got free stuff like that, but, you know, I'm a U.S. citizen, so I don't get anything free. But Tim Walz wants to give free stuff to all the illegal and fraudster Somalis in his communities to buy their votes, of course. Funny how that works.
If you think that's not a sanctuary state, you shouldn't be governor. By turning Minnesota into a magnet for illegals, you have opened up our communities to dangerous criminals, including known terrorists, gang members, murderers, and child predators. You have sent a resounding message that if you're a hardworking, law-abiding citizen of Minnesota, your safety and well-being are not the priorities of Tim Walz and his administration. But if you're coming to our state illegally, you're not only welcome with open arms, you're entitled to free stuff on the taxpayer's dime.
Yeah.
This is absolutely disgraceful. Governor
disgusting.
Walz, your sanctuary state agenda has been defined by your utter failure. You have failed to enforce the rule of law. You have failed to uphold our national sovereignty. And most importantly, you have failed the people of Minnesota. The time for radical sanctuary state policy, sir, is over. The voters made that clear last November when they elected President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance.
Imagine how much worse it would be if this guy was our vice president. Oh my gosh, I couldn't even imagine. Fraud would be off the charts if that was the case. I'm so happy they lost, dude.
You remember him, don't you? Governor, the time for real leaders and real leadership is now. And with that, sir, actually, Mr. Chairman, I ask unanimous consent to introduce into the record the governor's tweet that I referenced from May 23rd, 2018, which makes it clear his hatred for federal law enforcement. Thank you.
Without objection, so ordered.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Mr.
Chair
Chairman.
recognizes Mr. Mfume.
Exactly. JD Vance. Yeah, you're only seeing chaotic ICE raids in blue sanctuary cities where local officials are fighting against law enforcement. It's created by the leaders who would rather promote rioting in the streets than follow the law, which is true. I mean, you only see, this is just absolutely crazy. And they do buy the votes, like what this is showing here, because those states coincidentally don't require you to have an ID to vote. So they literally just allow people to come in illegally, give them free things, and because they get free things, it's like, oh, will you guys vote for me? Yeah, of course. You gave me a free house, free car, blah, blah, like this, that, and the third. While the American people are suffering, working hard to pay for this. Like, it's so stupid, dude. It's ridiculous. And that's exactly what's going on. Don't take my word for it, though. Let's listen to what Brock has to say.
If you're a criminal, you'll be deported. If you plan to enter the U.S. illegally, your chances of getting caught and sent back just went up. The actions I'm taking are not only lawful, they're the kinds of actions taken by every single Republican president and every single Democratic president for the past half century.
I think we got...
Exactly. And then here's this. Yeah, just look at that. Oh, all these deportations, no protests or riots, even for Bush. And then Trump, 1.5 million deportations, 350 protests and riots. It's just shown how crazy things have gotten. People literally just forget how to use their brain. And they see, it's just Trump bad. Trump bad. Me no like Trump. He's doing something I think is bad, even though other presidents have done it 5 times, 10 times the scale as him. And we didn't think it was bad then, but he does it, it's bad. Oh, it's just literally what it is. So stupid. And then on top of that, it does affect other areas of economics, like housing prices, for instance. So this is top 20 metro areas by illegal migrant population. And then changes in housing prices year over year. So 14 of the top 20 metro areas with the largest illegal migrant populations, their home list prices declined year over year. So basically, mass deportations equals lower housing costs for Americans. Sounds good to me. It's like, why would you want the illegal people to have access to this? Like, no. While the American people are struggling. No. Doesn't make sense. Get them out. And then, yeah, this is just about sums it up perfectly. This is so ridiculous, dude.